I'm Sue from Movement for Life, and I would like to share with you one of the most important key features in order to understand Pilates, and that is finding your core and figuring out what makes up Pilates. Pilates for me stands for three things. Where is your abdominals? Where is your pelvis? And where is your breathing? And how does this work in the space? So here we go. Lying down. What do they mean when we talk about neutral? So basically your pelvis can go in two postures. One is either you flattening the back onto the floor, imprinting, or otherwise you arcing, and you can almost see that I can get my hand right underneath my lower back. Both of these two are extreme postures, and we want to be more or less midway between those two postures. So if you take your hands and you make a triangle, and you're going to put them over your pubic bone, you're going to tilt the pelvis forwards and tilt the pelvis backwards. Small rocking movements. You should clearly feel how your thumb is lower than your fingers, and then your fingers are lower than your thumbs. From there, find midway between the two movement patterns. So that is what your pelvis is in neutral. Each of us are unique, so all of us have a slightly different neutral. There's no one size fits all. It's literally where everything is connected to find that neutral pelvis. From there, we're going to look and talk about the abdominals. So I tend to use quite a lot of biofeedback. So I want you to find your hip bones, and from there, find one space in. You should clearly feel some wobbly, jiggly like muscles. From there, you're going to give a big old hearty cough, and I'll immediately feel how those lower abdominals wobble about. From there, we're going to get rid of them. So you're going to take a deep breath in, and on the out breath, draw your belly button towards your spine as much as possible, like 100%. And relax and let it all hang out. You should immediately feel how relieved you are to be able to let the tummy muscles hang out. So if that was 100%, now you're going to think of taking your muscles to about 70% of effort. From there, you should still be able to eke out a conversation and perhaps be able to breathe a little bit more. From there, take what you think is about 40% of your abdominals and draw them in towards your spine. You should lightly be able to feel them activate. So our fingertips haven't moved. They're still just in front of the hip bones. You should feel these muscles get hard and sinewy. These are your lower abdominals. These are your transverse abdominals. This is what makes up your core. And their sole job, apart from aesthetically looking quite appealing if they are flat, is to stabilize and provide support for the lower back. So another analogy of looking at it is that you've eaten far too much on Christmas Day, and now you've undone your top button of your trousers and you realize you have to go and put the kettle on for coffee afterwards. So what do? You kind of zip up your trousers, you put up, suck in your tummy to do up the button, and off you waddle to go and put it up. That zipping up feeling is what we're talking about in Pilates. Another way of looking at it is that you have a belt, and you're going to take the belt to 100%. Then relax and let the belt come back to 0. Take the belt to about a 7 out of 10 and relax, and take the belt to about a 4 out of 10. That 4 out of 10 is where the vast majority of exercise is done, especially when you are lying on the floor. Pilates is great because it allows you to grade a variety of exercises from easy to hard. So in the beginning, it may seem like you're putting 50 or 60% effort into the exercise, but later on, you'll be able to decrease the effort that's required from your abdominals to about a 40%, which is what we want when we're lying on the ground. So our third position, or our third part that makes up what I think is quite important regarding Pilates and core, is of course the breathing. So from there, you're going to take your hands around your ribs, breathe in. You should immediately feel that as you breathe in, the ribs expand, and as you breathe out, you should feel how the ribs soften and the hands come towards each other. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. So what I always think of is that I'm a fish with gills, and just like a fish breathes through its gills, my armpits are my gills. So I'm trying to think are breathing what they call laterally thoracically, so outward rather than up and down. So what I don't want to see is my ribs lifting up and down as I breathe. I want to keep this section of me very still, as this is what also affects my lower abdominals. So we're breathing in and breathing out. So now we're going to connect what we learned about our pelvis, where it is in space, our finding of our lower abdominals, and our breathing, and we're going to connect all of them together. So here we go. We're breathing in, and as I breathe, I'm trying to think of my pelvis being neither in what I call my Pink Panther or Donald Duck position, i.e. the bucket of water is nice and flat. Additionally, as I breathe out, I try and connect my lower abdominals and draw my belly button towards the spine. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Once again, there should be no tension in the neck. The head is nice and relaxed. And my bum cheeks, my glutes, my booty are nice and relaxed. I don't want to see any pelvis tuckings happening or any squeezing of the glutes. The glutes are totally relaxed. One more time, breathing in and breathing out. So I hope that makes sense to you, because it certainly does to me. And every single time I do this, every single day, it really makes a difference to how I start and in how I perform for the rest of the day. So good luck. Any questions, or if you have any suggestions or any comments, then let me know. Thanks for watching.